Hi guys, and welcome back to Top Speed Golf. Today we're going to take a look at a member of the website swing doing a lot of things really well. John is an 8 handicap here. Average driving distance is about 270, so he's got some pretty good power, but he's missing a little bit of consistency. So we're going to talk about a couple things that can help him to get more consistency in his game, hitting it straighter, and some things that you guys can also incorporate into your own swing to get more consistent. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so for the first thing we'll talk about here is the power turn, and that just means that we're going to load up and build some power, build some resistance in our body in the backswing. So we can see as he turns to the top, the hips have turned a little bit less than 45 degrees. He can go ahead and get a little bit more hip turn, but a super flexible player, so resisting that hip turn for this person may be okay. For those of you who are a little bit less flexible, you may want to rotate those hips a little bit more so you can get loaded up. And then we can see that the shoulders have turned a lot. Well past 90 degrees. That's actually really good. If we look at the average PGA Tour player, we're going from shoulder socket to shoulder socket, they're getting about 128 degrees of shoulder rotation for the average PGA Tour guy. And that's not the chest itself, but the actual shoulder socket. So as you're doing this, there's a big difference between the chest rotating and the shoulders rotating. So you can feel like your lead shoulder is going back away from the target, your back shoulder is going back toward the target, and this is going to allow you to coil up. So even though, John isn't a big, strong guy, he's not 220 pounds of muscle or anything like that, he's getting 270 yards of driving distance, which is really good. And then as he comes on through, he allows everything to rotate around to the other side, and we can see now his hips are facing the target and his chest is facing out to the right rough or the left rough for you guys that would be right-handed golfers. That helps you to deliver that power through the swing all the way on into the finish. So that's really good. I like his power turn. I think he's got a good move there. As far as consistency, we really want to look at a couple of things. We want to look at first the stable fluid spine, and then from there, the compression line and how we release the club. Those are really going to help us to build some consistency. So at address, he's doing a great job here. If we draw a line from the belt up through the center of the chest or the sternum, we see that he's angled away very, very nicely. We'd like to see that stay in that same alignment as he goes to the top of the swing. We can see that he starts to just barely get leaning back toward the target a little bit. So if we took a line from the center of his hips up to the top of his spine, this is giving us a rough angle of what the spine would be. He's a little bit more vertical. The spine I know is slightly curved, so it's hard to get an exact angle on that. But we can see that he's starting to lean just very, very slightly back to the target. Not a huge deal here, but as he starts down, one of the things is he starts to get going a little bit too far to the left with the hips, or too far toward the target with the hips. And we'll see at contact, he tends to get that hip leading in front of the way. So here at contact, we'd like to see the hip socket, the ankle socket, and the shoulder socket to all be lined up. And what we can see is that his lead hip kind of gets bumped out in front a little bit, and that gives him almost a little bit of a bowing kind of action. So his hip, ankle, shoulder looks something more like that as he's leaning back, and that can give you a little bit of inconsistency, almost like the body's rotating open and leaving the hands behind. And as he comes all the way on through, now we can see that's giving a lot of bend in the lower back as he comes on through. So this could cause, especially for players that have a little bit of back pain, that can definitely start to cause some back pain. So what I would recommend with the compression line, and I have a great video that I can recommend for you guys toward this later on in this video. I'll talk about the name of it. But if you put a stick here in front of your lead ankle, I want my hip to not be bumping into that stick, but I also want my shoulder to be in line with that. All right, so if that makes sense. So you see how his lead leg would kind of be bumping into that stick and his shoulder would be back. I want the hip to be clearing back out of the way so that makes a nice straight line as he's coming through there. That's going to allow him to deliver the club down and through the ball very, very consistently. Now, the second piece of that, so if we get that compression line a little bit better, that's going to help in the stable fluid spine a little bit better. That's going to help to get a little bit more consistency in the swing. The second thing I want to talk about, let's go ahead and take a look at an iron swing over here and the straight line release. So let's pause as he comes down to the bottom of the swing and gets into the straight line release. We want that club to be first splitting the forearms about 45 degrees in front of the ball. So now we can see here's the club angle of the shaft. It's splitting the forearms just barely in front of contact. So if we go back, instead of being about roughly 4 feet in front of the ball, he's only getting about maybe 8 or 10 inches in front of the ball. So that club should very first be splitting the forearms on out here in front, and that's a very, very big key to getting some consistency. And we can see as his club reaches to that point, it's gone well past the straight line release, and now it's almost matching up with his back arm a little bit. So that little bit of flip at the bottom loses a lot of stability in the club and gives you less forward shaft lean. So the less forward shaft lean that I have, the more inconsistent the club's going to be, and the tougher time I'm going to have hitting the same shot over and over and over again. Now, for those of you who join us on YouTube, I got another great bonus for you, which is going to be a lag video. I'm going to talk about the #1 lag mistake I see. We can see that John is creating a pretty good amount of lag here, and he's releasing it just a little bit too early. But that's why he's getting some good speed still, is that he does create a good angle of lag, and he is releasing that, although it is slightly a little bit too early. So I'm going to go over the #1 mistake that I see so you guys can start building some lag. I'll play a preview of that video. Go ahead and click the link that pops up in the screen if you want to see that full video. Also, I'm going to play 5 bonus videos that are going to help you guys through the entire Top Speed Golf system. We're going to talk about the release. I'm going to give you a great bonus video for that one. And then the 4 other pieces of the system, you're going to get all that, instant access to it. Just go ahead and click the link that pops up on your screen during the preview of the lag video. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below. If you're on a mobile device, go ahead and click the drop down in the description. You'll be able to click the link there to get instant access. And click the thumbs up button. That really helps us to improve the channel and keep good videos coming your way. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, you'll be notified whenever we come out with some new videos for you guys. Good luck. I'll see you guys soon. Good luck with your lag. I'll see you in the lag video. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Ballard, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see, and in this drill what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, you look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be. I want to use the full length of this club to build lag and then release lag.